Hey everybody, it's Dr. Maya Alapin, Mama Soul Doc. I'm not a medical doctor or a mental health care practitioner. The question is, can everybody be hypnotized? The answer is, okay, well, first of all, we have to set up age of consent. It is not legitimate to do anything to anybody who's not of the age of majority unless their parents consent to have them treated. So everyone can be hypnotized, but we're going to start with the safety precautions, which are who have the legal right to agree to it, who are well informed and know what they're ascribing to. So my second point would be grown-ups as well, anybody, seniors, um, have to understand what it is they're asking for. So they have to understand what it is that the process is about. So, can they be hypnotized? Yes. Is it possible for them to refuse hypnosis? Yes. Is it possible to force hypnosis? I think so, yes. But why would one do that? So, anyone can be hypnotized who gives consent and is willing. So, now I'm down to gives consent and is willing. And how do I figure that out? Who is a good candidate? Well, I think the easiest way is to go through a pretty um, rigorous series of questions. So, clients who come to me first answer questions in their discovery call form. Then I meet with them for a good 45 minutes or an hour, and we talk about what is it that they want? Why are they coming? What is the issue? Why hypnosis? And that's a very important call because, in a way, they're interviewing me, but actually, I'm really interviewing them to find out, are they a good candidate? Is it going to work the way that they want it to? I mean, I can say that it's going to work, but they have to agree that this is something to pursue that will work for them. So, back again to, I don't think anyone who ever appears for one of these calls is not a legitimate candidate. I'm going to give one caveat to that in a minute. If they are aware of what they're doing, asking for help in a legitimate way, conscious of the change that they're trying to achieve. What kind of people might not fall into that category would be somebody with a psychoactive condition, some kind of schizophrenia, bipolar. There are other subgroups of those that I am not a doctor, so I don't know about. But I do think it's very important to ask people, are they on prescription medication? Do they have a psychiatrist? Who is their doctor? Not because it matters to the result necessarily, but because it matters to their safety and to their ability to decide and to be safe inside of the experience. So there's some groups of people I think should be just um, excluded, not because of undesirability, but just because there's a lot of things that as a medical person, as a non-medical person, we just don't know. So that's not a good thing to mess with. And then when it comes to the group of um, people who are willing, consenting, and desiring it, and who have the legal capacity to decide for themselves, i.e., are old enough, those people can all be hypnotized. Those people can all be hypnotized, even if they don't want to, even if they say, I'm not hypnotizable or I'm skeptical. I think the conversational method can still help them achieve goals, even despite their skepticism. Yes, I do think that. Not if their position is like, oh, F this, I'm not into it. Not in that case. But if it's a case like, oh, I've tried everything and I'm not very easily relaxed or something like that, or I don't really believe in hypnosis, like none of that really bothers me. Because it's natural. It's natural to be questioning. It's natural to be skeptical. If somebody told me that hypnosis solves problems, in 2 or 4 hours, I would probably be pretty skeptical myself. Other than that, I do it all the time, so I know it's true. But I think it is natural to ask those kinds of questions. I think some human beings are naturally skeptical, and I enjoy that. I like that about them. I like the challenge. I like the discussion that it brings out. I like the analytical side of people being um, being encouraged into more of what's possible for them. I'm an analytical person, so for me, it's fun too, just to like see that shift in people because it shifted in me. So the long answer, or maybe this is I guess, I don't know if this is a long or short answer at this point, but the answer is I think the conversational method is extremely powerful for people who follow all that criteria. Now, one more thing we can say about it is I do think that some traditional methods, like, okay, close your eyes, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're super relaxed, relax more, relax more. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good. It works for a lot of people and it's nice. But I do think it's easy for a skeptical or so-called difficult client to just say, I don't feel relaxed. Or actually, you telling me to relax is making me less relaxed. I think that's also natural. So I think those kinds of methods have a much more much more tenuous grasp on the hypnosis because they're kind of making assumptions about how people act and how they will react to your voice and to your words and stuff that may or may not be true. Like, what if you say to somebody, okay, go onto the beach and enjoy the waves and enjoy the sand and relax more, and they're like, my dad died in a boat accident and the ocean freaks me out. Like, that wouldn't be relaxing. But you wouldn't know that because you're just telling them what to do. So that kind of hypnosis, hit or miss. That's why I don't really do it. I do it sometimes because I like it, but it's not my main go-to thing because of that. Because I think people can resist it and maybe even will fake doing it just to please you when they're really not hypnotized. So I just don't do that. It's too much guessing for me. I like the open eyes conversation because I really understand if we're doing it. I'm not guessing. I'm watching it in real time and listening and perceiving. So I added a piece to my answer, which was I think scripts and language patterns and predictable hypnosis does have a failure rate that's pretty high. I think conversational hypnosis gets around those objections very effectively. So in my case, I feel basically anybody who qualifies, given the criteria that I gave at the start of the film of this recording, can be hypnotized. Thanks for listening. This is Mama Soul Doc in Montreal, Quebec.